This episode is part of Coffee Talk's ongoing partnership with TechFluent Academy, celebrating the stories of their graduates, mentors, and community. I cannot wait for you to hear this one. Welcome back to Coffee Talk, where we believe every person has a story worth telling because our stories shape who we become. Sometimes we think that career paths are supposed to be straight lines. You choose a profession, build a career, and keep climbing. But life has a way of reminding us that growth rarely looks that tidy. Today's guest has rebuilt her career more than once. She's navigated moving across the world, starting over professionally, discovering an entirely new industry, and finding purpose in solving problems that help other people to succeed. Today, we're talking about resilience, curiosity, and what happens when you're willing to begin again. Yuliya Kuklina, welcome to Coffee Talk.
Hi, thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. Hello, everyone.
I am so thrilled to have this conversation with you. So let's get into it. I love to start. This is where every coffee talk begins, and that's before the job title. So tell me a little bit about where you grew up and what life was like.
Yeah, so I was born in Siberia in Russia. It's a really cold place. And I was raised and born there, and I had some 2 degrees there. I started learning English when I was in kindergarten and continued learning English. I didn't know why, what was the purpose. I just wanted to watch Hollywood movies on native language, right? And I never thought that I will relocate in United States one day, but apparently everything led to it, even my language curiosity in English.
When you were a child, what did the young you think you would become when you grew up?
Honestly, all my friends making fun of me because of that, because I wanted to be a bus driver. I don't know why. I thought it's really cool to drive people around because back then it was the microphones that the driver was saying like, this is this bus stop, be careful, doors are open and closing. I thought it's really cool. So as a kid, I was dreaming like one day I will become a bus driver.
I have a very good friend that wanted to be a school bus driver when he grew up. And actually, when he retired, he drove a school bus. He did it. He went back and did what he wanted to be when he was a little boy. So is there a person that helped to shape the person that you are today?
Yes, of course. My mom was always busy. Like she was working a lot as a single mom raising me. So a lot of shape I got from my grandma and my aunt, who constantly were telling me, you need to get the good degree, like become a lawyer or a doctor, like economist. I think it's like Asian families. They constantly force their kids to become something they think it's the best career ever. Yeah. So that's why I went to study finance, only because my parents told me.
You eventually made one of the biggest changes a person can make. So take me back to that. What was it like moving to the United States in, I think you said it was 2018? What was that like?
Yes, me and my husband, honestly, we were thinking to relocate to Moscow because we were living in this small city. It's like province, a small republic far in Siberia. So we were thinking to move to Moscow to start something bigger, to salary-wise and life-wise. But then our friend who actually live here in San Francisco, he told us money-wise it's gonna be the same. So why don't you try to go to United States and try yourself there, apply for the green card lottery, maybe you will win. And that's what happened. And we came here. Main reason was mostly also because my husband is a software engineer. So he was dreaming about Silicon Valley. He's like, it's Silicon Valley, I need to go there. So I was just following him, honestly.
Was there anything about that transition in during that time that surprised you the most?
I would say a lot of things, of course. Culture wise and level of lifestyle, it's much higher. And all the historical parks here, all the nature, I love everything in Bay Area and in United States. My dream is to visit all the national parks because you have a lot of them. And career wise, the big surprise was for me that you don't have to have degree in order to find good position because people here look at your abilities, at what you're capable of. It doesn't have to be necessarily like graduated from university or stuff like that compared to Russia, because in Russia, if you don't have diploma, you're not going to be hired, unfortunately.
Wow. That's a good note for someone that may be trying to figure out their career, trying to navigate what they are going to do. Life can look so many different ways. And I think that's such an encouraging thing to hear from someone that you don't have to have a degree. I mean, if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, of course you do, but there's so many options for people as they're finding their way. You said that you went to university as a finance major. What did you end up doing with that degree?
Yes, after graduating from university, I was looking for a job for 1 year because nobody wanted to hire young professional. And also I've heard a lot during my interviews like, oh, you're a young woman, maybe you will go to maternity leave soon. So we don't want to risk to hire you. It's not like that here in America, thankfully. So nobody talks about your age, about your gender, right? They looking at your abilities. This is also one of comparisons that I discovered myself. But yeah, after a year of searching for the job, I landed the job in finance as an accountant on aviation plant. It's really huge plant in our city. It's almost like everybody wants to work there because it's like government owned, half government owned, so it's good position. So I was working there for 6 years.
In those first couple of months after you moved to the United States, what was the hardest adjustment for you in during that time?
I would say the biggest probably was the language barrier, that I could understand everything. I can read easily, but when it comes to speaking, it was hard because I was constantly translating in my head. This is the first mistake that usually people do when they learn another language, trying to translate. So you need to learn how to think on that language in order to speak fluently.
Before you stepped into technology, as you said, you were an accountant. You've had so many different career pivots, so many different jobs. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Looking back now, what did each of those careers teach you that you're still using today?
Yes, so my first job, accounting wise, of course, it taught me a lot about precise and little details because I remember my boss was telling me that some balance was not matching. So I had to find this little, in dollars, it would be like probably a cent. So I had to find it because it was not matching. So it's really meticulous job. That's what it learned to pay attention to details. And when I was working as a nail technician, it also teaching you how to have conversation with the customer, right? While you're doing nails, to understand what exactly they want to achieve. Because sometimes women don't know what they want, right? They come, I don't know what color to do on my
Yeah.
nails today, stuff like that. And as a teacher, preschool, because I was working with kids, it taught me to be patient, to learn how to explain small things to the kid, right? Because they don't understand a lot of stuff. So you would have to try to find a way to engage them in the lesson because kids really fast lose their attention if it's something boring. That's why you need to find a way to be fun, outgoing, to understand when exactly the kid is started to get bored.
You know what? I'd say this like like with a smile on my face, I would say that adults aren't much different. Our attention spans are so small and we have to be engaged and re-engaged pretty constantly. If you do any research on attention spans, our attention spans are shrinking. But it sounds like from the other opportunities that you've had some really great takeaways and practical applications of the things that you've learned and using those things in your career today. Was there ever an opportunity for a job that you turned down because it just didn't align with what you wanted to be doing?
Yes. So before I found TechFluent, I was working in retail, high fashion boutique. I don't know if you know the brand Carolina Herrera. So I was working there and I got promoted to assistant store manager. And later I had an offer to become a store manager. But salary wise, it would be good. Of course, it's like a big move to become a store manager. But the time wise and stuff to do, I wasn't sure that it's really something that I would like to do because the schedule was from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge mall in Santa Clara and big traffic. I could imagine that it's a lot of physical work, moving around and also to manage people too. So I wasn't sure that it's something that I would like to do in my life. That's why I turned it down.
When did Tech Fluent enter the picture?
While I was working in Carolina Herrera as a sales associate, my friend actually graduated first from TechFluent, and she was telling me about this. She's like, "Go do it. You will like it. It's something that probably you enjoy doing." Because I was already trying to enter the tech industry. I just didn't know what exactly to do because I was taking some multiple courses like a website developer or like I was learning some UX design, so stuff like that. And I didn't know if it's really something that I want to do. So because she told me this, I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. So I applied and I'm so grateful to my friend and to TechFluent, of course.
Had you ever pictured yourself working in technology?
Yes, but I didn't know that there is such profession like consultant. I wasn't even aware of this part of the industry. For me, tech world was only developers, designers, like tech writers, stuff like that. But there is consultant job, which I really enjoy now. It's definitely something, it's like a mix of everything that I was doing before, but in tech, honestly, in my head. I vision it the same.
When you applied for Tech Fluent, take me back to that. What were you feeling and what made you apply for that opportunity?
Because my friend was telling me, oh, it's really great. It's a short course. It's intensive. Of course, it's like 200 hours, but they explain everything to you. And there are people the same as you who trying to change career. It's not all young people. When sometimes you change in career, you're afraid that everybody will be young and you will be the oldest. You will be the slowest. You will be behind. But there's a lot of different people that I met. That's what made me confident that I'm not alone. There is a lot of us who's looking for new opportunities. And I didn't even know about Microsoft Dynamics world
Mm.
because even after I graduated, when I tell my friends from Russia what I'm doing, I'm telling them that I work with Microsoft Dynamics, they say, "What is it? You working with Excel? That's it?"
Right.
Like people don't understand what is it because they never had opportunity to touch it, to see it.
Yeah. When you applied, did that feel like a leap of faith for you, or did it feel like an obvious choice for you once you found it?
I thought I don't have anything to lose. It's something interesting. Why not? Like I have spare time and I'm looking for myself. Maybe this is something that meant to be. And it actually did become like this.
Yeah. When you were going through the program, I think you said it was a 200-hour program. Was there a moment where it just all clicked and you just knew you were in the right place?
Think almost from the beginning when we started learning more, the more I learned, the more I realize that, oh, it's something interesting. It makes me curious. It's something that I'm becoming passionate about. That it's huge industry and there is a lot of different paths inside. So you can, even inside, you can choose which one you would like to do. So I was concentrated mostly on CRM, something with client-oriented stuff. With my experience, I thought it's definitely something that I can concentrate on and dive deeper and master it.
Yeah. Our mentors can become such a help for us in our transitions and in helping us decide, what our path is going to be. During your time with the program, was there ever a specific person that really came alongside you that changed how you saw yourself or maybe helped to give you direction of where to go next?
Yeah, I mean, in TechFluent, we had a lot of different volunteers and mentors who were helping us, teaching us, and guide us. At that time, it was Liz. And when I went to the conference, I think that's where I've met more of my mentors in future job. It was Ashley Steiner, and we talked a lot. And the way how they describe the industry, it feels like so easy and fun, like, so I wanted to become the same. I wanted to have the flexibility that they have, all the traveling around the States, right? Because as consultant, you can constantly like travel on site with the customers or go to the different conferences and meet new people. That's what excited me the most.
You were surrounded by people, you said people of all ages that were also in the program with you. What did it mean to you to be surrounded by so many people who'd already made that leap into creating change for themselves?
I think it gave me confidence in myself because I was a little bit worried that I'm too late. Like I'm coming here and I'm already older in my 30s when people start their career here in America really early, and I'm already late. I passed that train. But honestly, no. It made me realize it's never late.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very common thread that I see with all different people that I talk to on Coffee Talk. A lot of people make big changes for themselves at all different stages of their life. You can change, you can reskilling or self-directed learning. There's so many opportunities for us to create that kind of dream reality for ourselves. And I'm so glad that TechFluent found you and you found it and you were able to do the things that you really wanted to do. Tell me about your speed interviewing.
Yes. In the Microsoft Dynamics conference, they told us that they organized speed interviews for us because we just graduated and we were all searching for jobs. There was plenty of partners, a lot of different companies. So they brought some people from different companies, and it was really interesting experience because I've seen this only in the movies when you have this like speed dating.
Yeah.
So it was the same, but for the job interview, which was fun. I talked with a lot of people and I had to show what I accomplished. I remember I built some small app to showcase. I brought my iPad to show that I did the work. Now I realize it's so simple, but at that time I was so proud of it. Yeah, and that's where I met Elevate Digital company
Yeah.
with Jason Bell, who gave us an offer, me and two other girls who were graduated with me.
Yeah. How did that feel when you got the offer from Elevate Digital?
Felt amazing. Honestly, I couldn't believe. I was like, what? And also, it at that time, do you remember it was time of the COVID when
Yeah.
first COVID started? So I actually got sick on the conference and I felt really bad. Like I had a headache. I was wearing double mask, but I landed the job. So I was still happy, even though I was sick and feeling awful health-wise, but I was super happy, yes.
Yeah. That's such an exciting time when you go through a program like this. You learn the skills that you need. You go through this process of this speed interviewing and you're having to, kind of meet the needs of the person that's interviewing you. It's rapid. It's moving so quickly. What were some of your thoughts during that interview process?
I was looking at it as an opportunity to see how the interview goes and to meet people and talk to them. I wasn't even thinking that I'm gonna land the job. I was just like pointing that, ooh, it's like training, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna prepare for my big interview in the future. So that's
That
how I was viewing it.
That's such a great point of view. I have a daughter that is 21. She's a senior in college next year, and she went through so many interviews at the beginning of the summer this year because she wanted an internship for the summer. And every time she would interview, she'd be like, the job isn't for me, but it gave me practice in interviewing. So I love hearing you say that you walked into that speed interviewing as a tool to learn how to interview, because interviewing skills it is a skill. You have to learn how to interview and how to present yourself. So I love hearing that, the way that you framed it in your mind as this is practice, this is experience. And then you landed a job, right? You landed a job in that process. So in those first couple of weeks in your role, again, going back to mentorship, it's such a huge part of who we are in being, and I say a young professional, I don't always mean like young in age, but new in a profession. Was there someone, a mentor, that was teaching you in those first couple of weeks with that transition?
Yes, at that job, Ashley also just started working with Elevate Digital. So she was mentoring us. We were saying, joking that she's our mom who's looking after us and helping us and guiding what to do. And there was a big contract for 1 year with the client. So we all were working with that client, and she was our mentor.
Yeah. So what happened with Elevate Digital? Because you're not there now. So what happened with that opportunity?
Yeah, after a year, when the contract is done, so basically at the beginning of 2023, they just called me and said, there is no more work, unfortunately, for now, but we will keep you in mind. And it didn't feel like they firing me, but it's still inside. I was upset because it was first time whenever somebody is telling me that there is no job for you. Usually I would leave the job, but not them telling me that there is no job.
I would imagine that a lot of disappointment comes in that discussion. How did you process that disappointment?
I thought if I will take it too much time on being sad, and upset, it will just take my time from
Mm.
moving forwards. So I thought I just need to keep going and search for the new opportunity, because I feel like here in the United States, you cannot just sit and be upset and wait. You need to move. You need to move fast if you want to achieve something.
Yeah. Well, you certainly knew that wasn't the end for your story. You've had so many moments of reinventing yourself. You knew you could do it. You've done it before. You had the confidence that you could step into the next opportunity. What was next for you? What were those next days like for you?
Also, TechFluent actually was always behind my back, right? They were always supporting. And I remember I emailed Liz saying, hey, unfortunately, I'm not longer with Elevate. If there is any other opportunities, I'm open. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the interviews. And I think we were doing some mock interviews. Of people were helping. So it wasn't that bad. And in parallel, while I was looking for a job with the help of TechFluent, I was looking myself through LinkedIn. And that's how I found Odoo, where I'm working right now.
So today you're working with Odoo, which you said you found through LinkedIn. What are you doing? What are you doing now with them?
I'm also consultant, even though the job position says business system analyst. But when I got hired, that's what they told me my position is cold. But when I was applying, the position was named functional consultant. So basically the same that was in Elevate. And I was surprised when they told me my position called business system analyst, because in my head, it's two different positions, two different jobs, right? But I understand now why they call it this way, because what I'm doing, I'm helping people with their implementation of Odoo. So they purchase Odoo subscription and they purchase consultants hours. So I'm basically trying to understand what their business is, what their pain points, and helping them to guide through Odoo, teaching them. That's what I do right now.
One thread that I see through every pivot that you have is that you really love helping people. That is something that through all of your transitions, the different jobs that you've had, you are people facing. You are a problem solver. What excites you the most about solving problems for other people?
It's like I also on my spare time I love playing board games, strategy games, and any quiz, trivia. It's everything when you have the issue, right? When the client tell you what's their pain point and you're trying to think what is the best way to help them. It's like these little games, I would call them. And when you achieve that, you have this amazing feeling inside that you did it, you helped them, and you solved the problem. I think I'm constantly chasing that feeling when you do it and you say to yourself, I did it. Yes.
Can you recall a problem that you have recently solved for someone that you're really proud of?
From one of my recent customers, actually, even though they purchased Odoo, but out of the box apps, they did not work for them. So they were already upset that they purchased it. They were already, you know how it is. They were like, it was the wrong decision, stuff like that. But I told them that actually Odoo is really customizable. So you can create app without coding. There is no need of code. We have this app named Studio. So I told them that I can build the app for them. So I did it. They were really happy because they did not know that it is possible. So we just communicated with them and then we built how it's supposed to look. We built the rules for them, what it's supposed to do, because they do repairment of machines. So they go often on sites. So, and after that, they gave me really good feedback, which was great to read this feedback.
You've said something that really stood out to me and it's really special. You said the biggest gain wasn't actually the money, it was direction. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I was always like that. I wasn't chasing like position or like power, money. I think I would like to have something in life that you wake up and you are not sad, right? You happy that you go into work. You happy with what you're doing. And at the end of the day, yes, you might be tired, exhausted, but you're still happy. And you know that tomorrow you will come back to work. It actually happened to me. I realized I was driving to work and I was thinking, I actually want to go to the office right now because I'm excited to meet people. There's a new project today that I'm starting. And I was really excitement that you feel. And I was like, wow, I might be really happy right now. Because before, I remember when I was working an accountant and it was really strict company. Even if you late like 3 minutes, you had to write why you were late, like written explanation on why you're late. So it's like really strict. And the person who loves freedom, it was hard for me.
Yeah. I would be writing lots of those essays if that were my consequence, I assure you. What does a good day at work feel like for you now? You said you're excited to wake up. You're loving the role that you're in now. What does a good day at work feel like for you now compared to before?
First of all, it's flexibility in schedule. There's no strict starting point as long as you're doing your job. Nobody's checking when you came to the office, when you left. It's everything up to you. If you're doing your job, nobody's gonna say why you came late or why you're leaving early. So this flexibility with schedule, that's what I enjoy the most. And you're planning your day yourself. Like nobody's telling you, hey, at 1 p.m. you will do this and that. It's totally up to you. So you are your own manager, program manager, project manager, and always different clients. So I meet different clients from different industries, and it's never the same. It's not boring. It's never boring.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah. Every day is different, right? You get new experiences every day, lots to learn from new people to engage with. That's so fun. It's like there's nothing boring when every day is different. You have mentioned maybe wanting to come back to the Microsoft Dynamics community someday. What keeps pulling you back?
I think that Microsoft Dynamics community is huge and there is a lot of opportunities to grow as a professional. And also, of course, I want to give back to community. People who gave me everything, who believed in me, right? I want to do the same for somebody else. I want to be Ashley for someone, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm still considering this opportunity. And actually, I applied to be part of the conference. I submitted my essay. Hopefully, they will choose me, but we will see.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who's afraid to start over right now?
First of all, it's simple. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared to start. There's nothing to lose. You can always go back to the jobs that you were doing before. Nobody's going to take this from you, right? All this experience that you have, it will always stay with you and it actually will make you as person you are, and it will make you different from other people, right? Because we all have different experience. That's what makes us unique professionals. You have your background, which is good. Like it's helping you to start new position. It's not something that you're missing. It's something that like your foundation of the new positions. So yes, always go ahead and try. Don't be afraid.
Has your definition of success changed for you throughout your career?
Yes, definitely. When I was younger, just graduated from university, the only thing I was thinking about was salary. Like, oh, I just need my salary, that's it. I just want money. I think all young people think the same, right? Most of us think the same. But now I'm valuing emotional health more rather than money. Because if you're not happy, no money can bring you happiness if you're not happy inside.
Yeah. I think that is wisdom as we grow as professionals. We learn that money truly isn't everything. It's that fulfillment, that work fulfillment where you know you're making a difference, you're helping people, whatever that definition of success looks like for you, and you've moved into that. You are doing that. You've spent a career doing that, and it's so notable. If I'm looking at your personal goals, you mentioned at the beginning of the episode that, one of the things that surprised you were the national parks in the United States, and you even mentioned traveling around and getting to visit more places. Do you have any places you want to go that you haven't been yet?
Yes, of course. Right now, I visited just 16 states, but my goal is to visit all of them to see myself what are differences in the different states, right? Because people constantly go to these tourist locations like New York or Florida, Miami or Los Angeles, but I want to see all other states, like all of them, and of course the national parks. And if we're talking about the world traveling, my dream was to go to Japan. I still haven't been there yet, but we will someday for sure.
Your story again reminds me that starting over does not erase everything that you previously learned. You talked about the things that you learned in your other career paths that you've carried into what you're doing now. It just gives people with that are open to it new places to grow. Every job you've held, every single challenge that you have faced became part of the person that now helps businesses solve problems and helps others believe that career changes are possible. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. Is there anything you would like to leave the listeners with today?
It's maybe not my wording, but I was listening to one podcast and there was somebody who said, don't be invested into what you're doing. Like, don't get it stop you and block you from what you really want to do, because people tend to stick to something that they're doing because they already invested so much. They say, I already spent 10 hours here, why stop now? Only because you suddenly realize that it's not what you want to do, then just stop it. Don't be sad that you wasted all the time. You never wasted the time. You're still learning and getting something from that experience. So the only thing I would probably say to people, don't think that you losing the time that you spent on something. You're never losing the time. It's all invested in you, inside of you.
Yuliya, that is really beautiful. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me for Coffee Talk today. As I sign off, if today's conversation reminded you that your past isn't something to overcome, but something to build from, I'd love for you to share this episode with someone who's standing at the edge of a new beginning. We have lots of that all around us right now. So please share this episode with somebody that might need some encouragement. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep brewing the conversations that matter. I'm Kate Copy Bacon, and this has been Coffee Talk. Thank you for joining us today on Coffee Talk. A special thanks to my guests for sharing their story, and to you, the listener, for being a part of this conversation. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a Monday morning chat. Until next time, I'm Kate Copy Bacon, and this has been Coffee Talk.